What's up, guys? I just tried shooting this and it didn't work, so we're gonna try this again. Welcome, guys, to RZ Jones 18's YouTube channel. Today is the toy haul for February, March, and April. I'm putting all 3 months together because it really wasn't that long. We'll get right into it. Um, we're gonna save. We'll do some ancillary stuff and then we'll get into the main stuff. So I got this. I didn't show this in the last part. I now own Pixel Dan's book, The Toys of He-Man, the Masters of the Universe. I got this from my local toy shop toy department. It's so cool to have this book. It's so cool to have him in my collection now because Pixel Dan is probably the second most important YouTube channel I watch. I love this guy so much, and it's really cool to have a piece of his history in my collection. I read this book constantly, and it gives me updates on characters I'm adding to my collection. So, love this book. It's awesome. It's one of the very few books that I own in my collection that I actually really care about. This is another piece to my collection that I'm really glad is now part of it. It is my 1-to-1 scale Grogu plush. I love this thing. He's adorable. It's just cool to have a Grogu proper scale in my collection that I can now hang out with me and watch Mando on Thursdays. So, yay! He will sit down here. And speaking of Grogu, I have his papa. Here is, I haven't shown this guy yet in any videos, but this is the 1/6 scale Hot Toys Mandalorian chromed out Mando with Grogu. Comes with the Din Djarin head, Beskar spear, Darksaber, his rifle, his blaster, all hands, and all that fun stuff. And this guy is fantastic. This ends up being the only Hot Toy figure I have in my collection. I'm happy with that because I love this character so much, and I love this toy a lot. It's probably the most expensive figure in my collection. Hands down. There are expensive Lego sets, but in action figure wise, that's the most expensive one that I own for sure. This is another one that I recently acquired. This is the NECA 7-inch scale Last Ronin action figure. This thing's amazing. I love the paint, sculpt, detail. It just nails it. It's a lot of fun, and it's just awesome. I've never read the comic book before, so I have no idea who this is. So I'm really excited to read the book. But figure-wise, this is one of my favorite turtle figures I've ever owned. I do own 2 vintage turtle figures from the re-release from Playmates. My girlfriend got them for me. It's of the shell, Raph and Leo, where they open the shell in the back. I have those on my wall because I haven't opened them yet. I'm not going to. I'm going to get all 4 of them. Transformers. It's another big thing coming back for me this year. A figure of the year contender, honestly, is this guy. The Studio Series number 100 Bumblebee from Rise of the Beasts. Transformation, robot mode, minus mac and cheese blade. This thing is amazing. One of my favorite Bumblebee figures we've gotten. Now, as a first impression Beast Wars for movie stuff, here is the upscaled Kingdom Rise of the Beast version of Airazor. She's really cool, but she also has her issues. I really wish she was colorful. I think her wings are colorful, but too much silver on the feet. They really stick out on camera. I don't know. I'm really excited for Cheetor. I'm really excited for Rhinox. And I'm super excited for Optimus Primal. So we'll wait and see. The movie comes out in June. Paramount, give us a new trailer. That'd be great. But hey. But here's the big guy. Here's the big one. It's always going to be the big one. I also have Lego Optimus over here. But I'm going to do a separate thing on him because that's a whole story. I'm really excited to show that to you guys. He's built. But here's the big one. Masters of the Universe Origins. Okay. So, there are 2 figures that are vintage related, and there are 5 figures and a vehicle from Origins. So the 2 figures from the vintage stuff are Whiplash and are in Ram Man, simply because I can't find their Origins counterparts. I've looked everywhere, and it's nice that I can go to Toy Department and they sell vintage stuff. And the vintage stuff for Masters of the Universe fits so well into Origins because they're at the same scale. So I have my Whiplash now, and I have my Ram Man, and they're both complete. They both look great. And Ram Man's action feature works just fine, and so does his twisty waist, and Whiplash stands great on the shelf, and so does Ram Man. And he doesn't shrink either, which I love. Now on the Origins side, we have one of the harder figures to find now because it's from the first wave, but I got him for a good price. My Origins Beastman, proper Beastman's now in my collection. Yay. Very happy about that. The next one is one of my favorite characters in Masters of the Universe. That would be Faker. I'm so happy to have a Faker in my collection. He comes with the proper power sword, full with a good gripper in his hand, and he looks fantastic. So it's just so cool. I'm so happy to have him. Next up is Stinkor, who does have a little bit of that smell. When you smell him, he does have that smell, but he looks awesome with his really bright blue shield, and it's so cool. It's so cool to have the character. If my evil warriors honestly now feel super complete. Like I don't need anybody else for the evil warriors. I think the only one, if I'm really thinking, God, I have everybody. Yeah. Because I also, his grappling hook got caught. Oh, Lord. And I shouldn't give it away. Put the gun over here. I have Webstore. And I think this guy officially rounds out my Evil Warriors crew. The only one I don't have yet, and because he's not out yet, is Spikor. But I know that Toy Department has a vintage Spikor, and I will gladly put him with my characters on my shelf. That's not an issue at all. So, but I have Webstore now, and he comes with his gun. Which, okay, so I have an issue with Masters of the Universe and their rifles. Don't get me wrong. I think it's really cool that we have, our futuristic guns here in Masters of the Universe. It's really neat, I'm really glad we have them, but they can't hold them. It's super annoying. So I'm gonna, take his hand away here for a second. It's just the way they have the hands sculpted with the thumbs up. It doesn't have enough room to facilitate the blaster. It doesn't take much to knock it out of the hand. It's super frustrating. And I have 3 of these guns now? I have the one from Grayskull, I have the one with Cronus, and now I have this one. And, if you get it right, it won't move, but if you flick it the wrong way and turn it, it doesn't stay on there. It's really, really annoying. I really wish they just give them, proper grip hands and be done with it like they do with, with the sword figures and stuff. But there's Webstore. And I saved this one for last because for a great figure, we get a really cruddy vehicle. And if you probably can't tell already. Okay, man. So, I have Mekaneck and the Ground Ripper. Very happy about that. Is it this side? No, it's this side. Hang on, I'm looking for something specific. Here it is. Okay, so in this set, you get this. You get the extra head, and you get what I think everybody was really after, which is the Mekaneck figure for Origins. And again, I love my Mekaneck figure from the vintage stuff, but I love the fact now that they just made it an extra separate piece for the neck. And, he can actually stand on his own now and not have to have that really weird angle. But here's Mekaneck, and he has the chromed out eyes, which is awesome. And he has this telescopic Bat of Doom, which again is cool. But I mainly want to talk about this guy. So, this thing stinks. I have not said that about any piece of this collection so far. But, when a collection goes on for as long as it's been going on since 2020, so almost 3 years, it's bound to happen. It's bound to happen. And it did. It did. There we have our first real dud when it comes to the vehicle assortment for Masters of the Universe, and it's this guy. I know that the original Road Ripper had the rip cord in it to where you move it, and I know it's a dumb little gimmick, but it adds more to the toy, and I feel like I'm getting more out of my value when it came to it. Luckily, I paid under retail for both of these. Um, but it's not enough for them to go, look, you can take the head off, and bam, it's a new vehicle. Basically, what all this is the toy art from the back of the original box. This is the proper head for the Ground Ripper. I wish this could have been here with a road rip, with a rip. I really do, because it's not that hard to do. I think it would have been a lot more fun. Does this roll good? I think it honestly does, yeah. But the wheels, they just, I don't know. I don't know. But this doesn't feel right to me. It just doesn't. Eh. What are you gonna do? It happens. Um, but that's the haul. That's everything from February, March, and April. I'm very happy with everything, but we need to get into the nitty gritty. So, what is the collecting like for 2023? Well, the thing for that is that I'm mainly strictly focusing on characters that I really need for Master specifically. I still need to find an Orko, a Shira, and a Hordak. I need to find those three. If I can find those three, then I would be content for a little bit so I can start finding other Sunman characters and Grizzlor. Those will be the hardest ones to find. And I know that going into finishing this off, I know we're getting the Point Dread and all the Snake Men stuff, but I already have three teams, basically. I have the Heroic Warriors, I have the Horde, and I have the Evil Warriors. And, like, I don't need to get the Sunmen. Like, I'm not as attached to that line as most Masters fans are. I I want to complete the Horde because I'm so close. I just need Hordak and Grizzlor, and I'm done. Then the Horde's done. The Heroic Warriors, I need an Orko. I need an Orko. King Randor is hit or there. Like if I really need to, I can grab one. It's not that big of a deal. But my Heroic Warriors are basically done. To where I want them to be, and I need Snake Mountain, and then I feel like Masters is done. Like I feel like I have a stopping point for my collecting on Origins, and it's getting close because just within this haul, I put in holes in my collection that I now am now done. Now, obviously, if we could put out Modulok and that kind of stuff, then of course I'm going to add them to the collection. But for the time being, I'm content. Turtles. Spank that out right out of the way. Get the other two shell turtles for Donnie and Mikey, and done. That's it. Done. Don't need anybody else. We're done. We're good. I'm done. I'm not going to be that guy and try to have a collection for multiple toy lines. I want specific stuff. Transformers, same thing. If Studio Series works out, fantastic. If it does not, I have a backup plan with Legacy and Armada. I really like all the Armada stuff they're putting out. But again, there's also the fact that, maybe this just doesn't work out for Transformers. And, I'm trying them out again. I love the Bumblebee. I really, really do. And I really like the Airazor. But the main Transformer in my collection is my Lego Optimus Prime, because that's all I wanted. So if they put out a little Lego Transformer, that'll go with my Prime, and I would be satisfied with that statement. DC. Man, I really wish I could find a good line of DC to collect, because I really can't. Like, I've tried Lego, I've tried Mezco, I have my Mezco Joker, my Mezco Ben Affleck Batman, but, both of those are just, centerpieces for DC. And I have, like, my Lego Batmobile and Star Wars, even, too. Like, I have Star Wars Lego out the wazoo, but I don't have a proper figure except for Mando, and I love them. And that's enough for me. Like, it's gotten to the point now to where I don't have the urge to start new collections anymore, simply because nothing's really standing out to me. Like, I'm watching everybody review all this stuff. I know G.I. Joe is a big thing right now because of Classified, and they completely redid that brand. And I'm happy for everybody. I know Cincy Nerd loves that line. It's one of my favorite lines to collect. Four Horsemen with their Mythic Legion and Cosmic Legion stuff. Like, it's so cool to be in this space and know that there are avenues you can go down in any direction, and you'll have a great time doing it. But I also have to keep and realize that I don't just collect figures. I'm also being a very active game buyer this year. Spider-Man 2, I'm getting the Legend of Zelda Switch along with Tears of the Kingdom. Jedi Survivor's coming out. I just bought Resident Evil 4, Dead Space, and Hogwarts Legacy. Like, I'm getting through all the big games this year. And so my collecting on figures has to be very, selective. And once Masters is done, like, that's a collection done and done. Like, there's nothing else really to do. The other line I have considered, haven't really put my nail in the coffin yet, whether I'm not going to, is I've heard everybody talk about it, how much they've gotten better with it, and that is vintage collection on Star Wars, which is the 3/4 inch scale stuff. And, like, do I want to start a Star Wars collection again on that kind of scale? I mean, maybe, because that was how I got back into figure collecting to begin with. Was with the old Force Awakens figures that I still own, and my Rebels collection that I still have. Like, it's a temptation for sure, but do I really need to set my time aside to do that again? I don't know. And it's like I could also go down the Hot Toys route and just become like a once every 3 months add another figure to my collection thing once I'm done with Masters. That could totally be a thing I do. And, they're doing all the Ahsoka figures. They're doing, Flash figures, the Batman stuff. That's the other thing. I want a Pattinson figure in my collection, but there's so many to choose from the Mafex to the Hot Toys to the Mezco. It's just, I really just want to find my next Masters line, and I don't know if they'll be able to find it. Like, this line hit me in such a deep place in my life that it's taken up a lot of my time. And so I don't know what I'm going to do once it's done. Like, do I just keep collecting and adding figures to the collection for the sake of adding figures, or do I leave it where it's going to be? I'm not sure. So we'll probably come back in about another 3 months and see what's happened. I know we don't get Snake Mountain until October, which is a darn tootin' shame. I really wish they came out sooner than it did. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Really good haul the past couple of months. Completed some things, got some really good grails and acquirements, and yeah, Masters is still my go-to. You just gotta keep trucking. As long as they don't put stuff out like this. If the Talon Fighter and Point Dread are like this at all, I'm gonna be so upset. That is my most anticipated release for the year, is the Talon Fighter and Point Dread. I'm so excited to add that to my freaking Castle Grayskull. Oh, I'm so excited. But there you go, guys. That is the haul for February, March, and April. We will see you back here again for May, June, and July for the first half of the summer. And we'll talk about Masters, Transformers, where we are after the movie, that kind of stuff. So make sure to come back here probably around July, and we'll talk to you then. Thanks, guys. See you later.